Before we begin opening ceremonies, we have a couple of announcements to make. First, thank all of you for being here and supporting each other. On behalf of the staff, thank you for being here. We really appreciate you. And secondly, we'd like to remind everyone to ensure that the escalators do not become stairs. Please take care to gently exit them and enter them. Also, we'd like to take a moment to thank our volunteers, panelists, and DJs. Many of them have been here since last Saturday setting up. All day, every day, till late into the night. Please join me in a round of applause for our volunteers. All right, we're gonna finish load in, and opening ceremonies will start in 3 minutes and 22 seconds. Good morning, everyone, and welcome. It's really good to see all of you again here. Can't believe it's been a year already. So how many of you, is it your first time coming to Anthro Northwest? Wow, that's a lot. All right. How about your first convention ever? Impressive. Well, welcome. You know, I think you might find that going to a furry convention is a lot like stepping into a painting. It's a pretty magical and beautiful place. Thanks for being here, and most of all, welcome to all of you. So our theme here at Anthro Northwest, they're like the year. We divide them into 4 pieces. They happen over 4 human years. In the set, we've had the themes of friendship, love, and now our theme this year is family. So now some family we don't actually get to choose, but one way or another, we all have 2 parents. Now some of us may not know those parents, and some of us may have to break the bond with them, a family. Some of us are pretty lucky, and we have good relationships with them. It's truly something to be cherished. Family bonds vary greatly in terms of what they're like from one person to another. No bond is the same, even within families. You know, the important thing with a family is that you have the bond of love. One thing I've found to be true in life is that there's always people with better parents, and there's always people with worse. No parent gets it right every time, but most parents do the best they can to love their child. If your parent loved you, it's good to honor and remember that and love them back throughout your life. It's a mystery as to why we have the parents that we do. You know, sometimes we hit the jackpot and sometimes we don't. Some things we choose in life, and others we just don't. While there's family of biology and physicality, I'd like to propose that perhaps beyond genetics and offspring, perhaps family can just be a special type of love. I don't have the ability to have children, and I kind of expected I'd spend my life alone. Up until about 2 years ago, I didn't feel capable of having love like you'd have for a partner, or even fatherly love like you'd have for a child. But life is full of surprises, and sometimes the future is more beautiful and fuller than anything we could ever imagine right now. In my faith tradition, sometimes we're asked to sponsor a child, and I was asked and I accepted. Suddenly I had a godson. He has parents and lives in another state, but it's a joy to have someone to love as a child in my life, to be a little bit of a father too, especially on his birthday and stuff, to care about. It's nice to have family to spend holidays with. You know, sometimes families come by belonging to a faith or maybe an organization. It doesn't have to be defined. This child was my first family member. You know, our themes are chosen about 5 years in advance. Unintentionally, I found myself living our themes these last 3 years. During the friendship year, I met my best friend that I've ever had. And during our love theme year, the unthinkable happened, and I fell in love for the first time in my life. I never thought myself capable of such a thing. But it's pretty special to experience the more full palette of human emotions, thoughts, and feelings. Most of this was enabled by the love shown to me here, in the fandom by all of you. We've created a safe space. I could grow as a human. Now, the love I had for my best friend was not the love they felt for me. In such cases, 2 yeses make a no, but you have to respect the other no as a no. Consent is required, especially in love. What they really wanted and needed was a father, and I declined at first. That wasn't for me, but as time went on, my love for them grew and began to change into what they needed. I offered adoption to them 2 Christmases ago, and with happy tears they accepted. Suddenly I had a daughter, 2 kids now. I often say that she's the best thing in my life. In the beginning, it was really hard to feel fatherly love for them. There was a transition that needed to take place, but out of love for them, I tried to do my best to develop the love that they needed and be the best father I could be. Over time, the love I wanted as a partner cooled into oblivion and vanished, while the love I felt for them as a father increased each day. You know, the action for caring of them, of loving them, in this context, it changed me. Receiving love changes us. Giving love changes us. I never expected to be a father, to feel fatherly love, to understand the connection between father and daughter, but here we are today. You know, the bond of family that is chosen family, I truly believe it can be as strong as the bond of physical family. Perhaps in some cases it's even stronger. I think in mine it is. It's a different bond for sure. I didn't raise my child from a young age. I parent in a different way. They're an adult. I don't parent as if they were a child. Mostly I try to provide a safe space, a safety net, and just be there for them when they need it. I always tell them my love for them is unconditional. I absolutely mean it. Being a parent is hard, but I'm happy to do it. You know, one thing I've learned that having family and being a parent, it gives back too. The love of the child acts upon the parent, it warms the heart. There's nothing quite like being called dad. I don't know how to express that with words, but I hope one day all of you get to be called mom or dad by a child who loves you. You know, family comes in all shapes and sizes, ages, ethnicities, and orientations. What's important is the connection. What's important is the love. I hope you have family, and if you don't, it's a really good place to find some. If you're a parent, please stand up. For the different kinds of parents out there, you know, raising your children, you have an impossible task. Your courage, dedication level guide you. There's no task more challenging in life than to raise a child in love. If you're here with your child, in all honesty, my goodness, what a gift it is to them. I know this place might feel kind of weird and foreign, but I want you to know you're welcome and appreciated. Things would have been different had my parents been here for me like you are for your child right now. For a lot of you, this may not be a comfortable place to be, but your love is clearly evident. Parenting is often about sacrifice. Parenting is about connection. Parenting is about unconditional love. You parents are amazing. Thank you for being here. I think we should just thank all our parents in the fandom. You know, there's other people who love our themes too. So, there's a lot been happening at Andy and Co's house this last year. They have been starting a family too. You might remember that last year Andy and Co had found an egg and they were walking around convention space with it. It was abandoned in the forest. Well, they took care of that egg and it hatched. Please welcome Storm. Storm is a loyal and independent osprey. They are graceful, charitable, pretty chill most of the time, sweet, and they love to dance. Storm's markings represent the weather of the Pacific Northwest, because we got so much moisture up here. Their markings feature bolts of lightning, clouds, and raindrops, just like the weather out here. So Andy and Co have been raising them as their own, watching the other birds in the forest, trying to get some parenting examples. You know, as a wolf and an otter, it's a little tricky to raise a bird, but you know, love gets them through each day. They love their child so much. Storm is 15. There's also Gio, who was found in the forest one day while Andy, Cove, and Storm were walking around. It was clear that he needed someone to care for him, and he was all alone. Please welcome Gio. Gio is super laid back. He tends to be content and diligent. He's a really good problem solver. He likes to collect rocks and minerals, spend his time building things with his hands. She is pretty much all around sweetie. Yep. Little clumsy sometimes. Sweetie. He's age 10. So 5 years after Gio was adopted, Sprout was born. She is the child of Andy and Cove and is super sweet. Please welcome Sprout. She's pretty bouncy. She tends to be curious, excitable, and she really, really, really loves bugs. She's got a leaf marking on her back representing a forest, and a small meandering river that runs around her lower back and tail. She is 5. Aw. All right. You know, as often happens in life, Angie and Cove didn't really choose to start a family. You know, we never know when we'll be called to be a parent. Sometimes people show up in our life who need a family. And family is perhaps the most beautiful gift that could possibly be given. It represents an incredible commitment, but through it you can experience some of the most amazing forms of love that life has to offer. I hope all of you have family, and for those who don't, I hope perhaps you find what you need in this community that's filled with love. Now our volunteers are going to exit by that door over there, and we have a welcome line. If you choose to exit through that door, they're going to be assembled there to give you a thank you and welcome you to the convention. If that's a little too much, a quick getaway, just go through the far doors in the back of the room. You can just go through any of those. Andy, Cove, and the kids will exit first, and all of you are welcome to join us in the convention. The volunteers are here, the panelists are ready, the vendors are set up. Now let the convention begin.